Good morning, students. My name is Gulrez Azizi, and I'm your English teacher. This is the first time I'm interacting with you. I hope we'll get to know each other. Today, we're going to read and understand the first chapter of your English book, the Snapshots. That's the chapter number 1, The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse. This story is written by William Saroyan, who's an American writer. I'll just quickly give you a briefing about this story. Like I said, that this story is written by William Saroyan, an American writer. He has described about two cousin brothers. One was Aram, and the other cousin brother's name was Murad. Here the writer, he is considering himself Aram, one of his cousin brothers. So how the story starts with, Aram was sleeping in his house, and the other person, Murad, he came and woke him up. So what Aram found, a very beautiful white horse, and his cousin brother was sitting on it. These two brothers, they always wanted to ride horse, and this the time Aram desired was going to be fulfilled. One more thing about this story is quite simple and easy wordings by the writers, but the major points are that these two brothers belong to a tribe. Tribe means a group of people speaking same language, same culture. Here in India we have, you must have heard the schedule ST-SC. Those ST is stand for scheduled tribe. So that's where these two brothers belong to. That's the name of the tribe was Garaglanian tribe. So they belong to this tribe, and it was believed that the people from that tribe never cheated anyone. Forget about stealing. They never took advantage of anybody even. I'm going to read the paragraphs and I'll explain the difficult words also for you. One day back, there in the good old days when I was 9 and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence, and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream, my cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning and woke me up, tapping on the window of my room. So like I said, there were two cousin brothers. One was Murad and Aram. So Aram was sleeping in his house. Murad came, and that was nearly 4 o'clock in the morning. In summer season, you must be knowing that the nights are quite shorter. So what Murad did, he tapped. Tapping is like doing like this with the fingers. So he tapped on the window of Aram's house and woke him up, saying, "Aram," he said. I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. I couldn't believe what I saw. It wasn't morning yet, but it was summer, and with daybreak, not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. My cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. So like I explained, it was early morning, it was dawn, and Murad came, woke up his cousin brother Aram. When Aram woke up, he couldn't believe that his cousin brother Murad was sitting on a very beautiful white horse. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. So, like when you wake up in the morning and if you haven't slept well, then what you do, you rub your eyes like that, try to see what's in front of you. So that's what he did. Yes, he said in Armenian, it's a horse. So who said? His cousin brother Murad. He said, yes, my brother, it is a horse. He said that in Armenian. Armenia is a country, and people living in that country are like we living in India are called Indian. So the people living in Armenia, they are called Armenian. So he said in Armenian, yes, it is a horse. You are not dreaming. Make it quick if you want to ride. So Murad said that, yes, you are right. You are not dreaming. And if you want to ride this white horse, then what you got to do is to make it quick. You have to come. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. But this was more than even I could believe. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses, and my first longings had been longings to ride. So like I explained earlier, that Aram always wanted to ride horse, and he couldn't believe that his cousin brother had really brought a horse, and that was standing in front of him. And he knew about his cousin brother that he was the kind of person enjoying the life. He never got bothered of anything. So he always enjoyed his life. This was the wonderful part. In the second place, we were poor. This was the part that wouldn't permit me to believe what I saw. We were poor, we had no money, our whole tribe was poverty stricken. So these two brothers, they belonged to a tribe, Garagulanian tribe, and most of the families living in that tribe were poor. And these two brothers, they were poor as well. So Aram couldn't believe that Murad had bought a horse. They were not going to afford to buy this horse. So that's why it was very difficult for him to understand or to believe that Murad was sitting on a horse. Every branch of the Garaglanian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty in the world. Nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies. Bellies means stomach. So they were so poor, the people living in that tribe, and even these two brothers, they were so poor that he could not think about buying such horse. And giving an example, he's saying that nobody could understand where we ever got money enough to keep us with food in our bellies. So that means it was hard for them to even survive, even to live. So how could they think about buying a horse? Most important of all, though we were famous for our honesty, we had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries. Even when we had been wealthiest family in what we liked to think was the world. So all the people, mostly it was believed that they never cheated anyone, and they were very honest. They were famous for it. We were proud first, honest next, and after that we believed in right and wrong. So firstly, they always proud of themselves. Second thing, they were quite honest. And the last thing, they could think about what was right and wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. Steal means like taking something without paying, and like hidden thing, without knowing or paying. So they were so honest, they could not even think about taking advantage of anybody in the world, and forget about stealing. Forget about stealing. So they were not going to steal a horse or anything, and they were not even going to take advantage of anybody. Consequently, even though I could see the horse so magnificent and so magnificent, even though I could smell it, so lovely, even though I could hear it breathing, so exciting, I couldn't believe the horse had anything to do with my cousin Murad, or with me, or with any of the other members of our family, asleep or awake. Because I knew my cousin Murad couldn't have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought it, he must have stolen it, and I refused to believe he had stolen it. So because they belonged to a tribe who never took advantage of anybody, so how could any of them would steal something, would steal a horse? So it was hard for Adam to believe, although he could see that the horse was there and Murad was sitting on it. He could smell it. He was basically in these 2-3 lines, all he wanted to say that it was true, it was real. He could see the horse, he could see his cousin Murad was sitting on it. But still, it was hard for him to believe that how Murad had bought this horse, because he knew that he was so poor, and even himself, Adam himself was so poor that they couldn't afford to buy a horse. So how could his cousin brothers Murad had bought a horse? So if he had not bought this, then he must have stolen it. And that also he didn't want to believe, because they belong to a tribe where people never stole anything. That was all for the day, and you need to note down difficult words, and anything else if you want to discuss, you can discuss that in our online classes. Thank you very much. Enjoy your day ahead.